day students, welcome to a new class of Electronic Spreadsheet Unit 2 of IT 402 subject. Now in our last class of Advanced Excel, that is Advanced Spreadsheets, we had learned about creating of macros, how to record a macro and how to run a macro. Now in today's session we are going to understand how to use macros as a function. Now what is the meaning of a function and what is the meaning of a macro, how to use macros as a function, we are going to understand in detail in this chapter. Now what is the meaning of a function? So a function is a subroutine that returns a particular value. Now it is used to handle certain tasks within a program. Now suppose if all the tasks are given to one person, it becomes very difficult for that person to do our tasks. Okay, so what if it is divided among different people, then the task becomes much more simple and it becomes much more easier for a person to do if the tasks are divided. So in the same way, if functions are created for doing a particular task, then it becomes very easy. So they are used to split a task into individual different procedures. Now in when we were studying Excel, we had done certain functions like the sum function, which is used exclusively for adding of numbers, average function which finds out the average of numbers, max function which will find out the maximum values in a particular range, the min function which you find out the minimum value in a particular range or in a given sum. So this is what is the meaning of a function. So function will always return a particular value and it is used to divide tasks so that it becomes easier to do a particular procedure. So that is what is called as a function. So now let us understand how to create a macro that behaves like a function. So we run or we write a macro which will act as a built-in or which acts as a function. Now you will tell that we already know what is macro and we have already recorded a macro. So what is the difference between what we are doing now and what we did in our previous class? In a previous class we only recorded a macro and we run the macro. That means we only did the steps and recorded that macro and then we saved that macro and we run the macro. In today's class we are going to actually write down the code to make functions which can be create functions which can act as a macro. So now how do we do that? We have to click on the tools menu, the macros option, and in the macro organizer we have to click on open office basics, because as I told you the coding is written in star basic language. Now you have to select any macro name, click on edit, and wherever in the code window there is an empty space, you have to write down the coding for in that space to create the function. Now what is the syntax for the function? The function is the function, then in the function name you need to give it with an open and close parenthesis, then the function name, the value which you are assigning to that function, and end function. Now you will understand this better if I give you an example. So I am going to write a function. So for example, the sum function is the function name, average is the function name, max is the function name, min is the function name. In the same way, I am going to create a function called phone and open and close parenthesis. In this I am going to give my phone number and end function. So whenever I call this function called phone function, it will display to me the phone number. So how we are going to do this practically, I am going to show it to you. In the last class I explained to you that whenever we record a macro, the macro is recorded and we can see the actual coding for the macro in the organize macro option. So every macro recorded gets recorded in a particular language which is called as the macro language, which is written in star basic. So now when I click on macros, organize macro and open macro, here these are the we had created these macros inside the new module, and the calculate module, the color module, these ones we had created in our last class. So suppose if I click on the color one or calculate one here, this is the coding for the entire macro. It is written over here. Now if I want to write a new macro always, or I have to write a function, then I need to create an empty space after end sum. Okay, always no macros code can be written between these already existing macro. So you need to find an empty space over here after end sum. Now how do I write a function? The function. So you need to write the function. Now what is the name of a function I'm giving? Let us take, I want to write a function which is to display my phone number. So I will write phone function. The name of the function is phone, open close parenthesis. Now here I will write again the function name which I'm going to call, that is phone, is equal to, in double quotes, 9, whatever is the number, 982036757, something like this, and close the quotes. And then I'm writing end function. Okay, so now I have written a small little function called function this way. Function is equal to phone, open close parenthesis, phone, that is the name of the function, is equal to the actual phone number, and end function. Now I click on the save button, close this. Now when I come to my empty sheet and I just write down, do you remember the sum function, average function, how we used to write that? Is equal to sum and in bracket the range, right? In the same way, I'm just simply calling this function called phone. So I will call this function phone, open and close the parenthesis, enter, and it will display to me the phone number. So this way I have created a small function. I have written the code for creating a function. In the same way, if I want to write another function, let us take the example which is given to you in the textbook. That is the number 5 function. Here, number 5, that function. So when I call this function, it is going to display to me number 5 in a cell. That is what this particular, in the textbook they have shown. So how will we do that? We will again here go to, yes, see, they are just telling you the steps how to do it. Again, go to tools, open macro, open organizer, and then write that function name and do it. See, this particular one we will do. So they have given the name function number 5 implement in bracket, open close parenthesis, number 5 implementation, which is the name of the function, is equal to 5, and end function. So let us try this one also. Again, we will go to tools, macro, macro organizer, open macro. Again, any place, click on phone, any other place, so that you can get into the edit mode. Of the edit mode, click down. Now as I told you, it should be in a blank space somewhere down below after end sub. Here now I will write function number 5. I'm just giving the name number 5, open and close quotes. Then here number 5 is equal to only 5, and end function. Now I will save it and come back to my Excel sheet, this calc sheet, and I'll write here number 5, which is the name of the function, open close parenthesis, and the number 5 comes on the in the cell. So this way I can write functions for whatever macro. It is almost like a macro, but as a function I'm already writing it, so that I can automatically just call the function name and the function gets executed. Now let me show you one more example. If I want to write a function where my address gets displayed the moment I call up the function, same way I can click on tool, macro, macro organize, open office base. Now any of the one you click and open, it opens the same thing. Here come down and write a new function. So I'll write function. The syntax is the same. Function, let's take add, addres. I'm just doing like that, address, ress, address. This is the name of the function. Now address is equal to, and in quotes I can write Vidyalaya, Patlipada, Thane. So this is the address. So I'm going to write end function. Now I will save it. Again, close this, and if I will just call that function called address, open and close brackets, the function name I think the name is error comes because of the name of the function. I think address is a reserved word in yes, address is a reserved word, so I can make this as ADRESS. Okay, I'm just saving it. Instead of ADDRESS, I'm just giving it as ADRESS. So ADRESS, and yes, see. So here the address is called, we've called the function called address, and it gets displayed over here. Now once you have written a macro, a function in a macro as a function, then you need to save the document. Here see, save the calc document, close it and open it once again. Depending on your settings in the tools option security macro security option, calc will display any one of the two warning messages shown. You will need to click on the enable macro, or else the macro does not allow you, the calc does not allow you to run the macro inside the document. So either it will show you a message that enable macro or disable macro. So only if you click on enable macro, it will allow you to run the macro the next time. Now that all, or else it will tell you that the macro contains virus, and it will give you a warning message that some of the functionalities will not be available. So if you choose to disable the macro, then it will load the document without the macro. So here, and where do I get to see that? You can get it in tools option. The security options will be under tools, security, macro security, and here if it is very high, then only macros from trusted file locations will be allowed to run. All other macros, regardless of whatever it has been done, will be disabled. If it is high, then only signed in macros that are from trusted sources will be allowed. The rest of them will be disabled. And if it is medium, then all the macros will be allowed, even if it's from untrusted sources, will be allowed to be done. Or if it is very low, then all the macros, irrespective of confirmation, will be allowed to run, because macros contain viruses. So this way, depending upon the security level of the macros, it will allow you to run the macro or no. So this is the thing. So suppose if I click it on medium, then it will allow me to run all the macros, high and very high. So this way you can set your macro settings according to it, and accordingly you will get the message whether to disable or enable the macro. So that is exactly what is written over here in this particular section of the PDF note. So this is about the regarding the security of. Now in the previous function, we had just the function name and we were calling the function and it was returning a value. Now we will understand how to pass arguments into a macro. Now arguments are values that a function uses to perform a calculation. So for example, in the sum function, what are the arguments? 23, 45, 67, 12. These are the values which we are passing into the function, and the calculation takes place based on the value. So these are called as the arguments. So the value that is passed on to the macro is called as an argument. So the values are separated and they are written within the parenthesis or within the brackets, the rounded brackets, and they are separated with the comma. So in case the arguments which are passed on to a function can be either a value, directly a value, or it could be a cell reference. So you could either pass is equal to sum 23, 45, 67, 12, or you could write sum A4, C4, D8, D9 like this. So these particular 23, 45, 67, 12, these are the arguments, or even A4, C4, D4, whatever, they are also called as arguments. So whatever is written inside the rounded brackets inside after a function name, that is called as an argument. So let us understand how we will do that in the next in the assignment which follows. Now here what we will write the function again, the function name, and in bracket we have to write down the x, optional x, the function code, and write function. So here we are going to write down a function called function val double, in which we are going to pass the value of x and we are going to double that value and display. So whenever the function val double is called, it will double whatever is the value which is given inside the brackets. After the val double function, whatever value is given, that will be doubled and shown to you. So practically let us see how to do that. Now let us understand how to pass a value as an argument into a function. So how do we do that? Again, I'm going to write a function. Click on Tools, Macro, Organize Macro, and Open Office Base. Now here, these are the macros which we had created, and these were the ones which we had written the code for. Now we go on to any one of them. Click on Edit, come to a blank place. Let's take over here at the end and write a new function. And this time I'm going to give it a name of a function called val double. And here I'm going to pass the argument as x. Now here write val double is equal to x into 2. And here I can say end function. Now I will save this, close it, and here I come and I will call that function with a value or an argument. I'll say val double, and in bracket I'm going to type suppose 34, or let's take 30. That is the argument which I'm passing or giving it to the function, and I press enter. It will give me the double of that value, that is 60. So this way I have passed an argument into the function. So this is the way of doing it. Now we can also pass two values x and y into this. So that what we are seeing here, we will passing an argument here. We can write this particular one. Let us test function test max. This is the one which is given to you in your notes, PDF notes. So let us try this function. Here we are passing two arguments, that is x and y. So if x is greater than or equal to y, then the value will return, the function will return x as the greater number, else it will return y as the greater number. So let us understand how we will do this particular function, how we will write this particular function. So here again, go to Tools, Macro, Organize Macro. Here again, go to Edit. Now the name of the function is function test max, and we are going to pass two values x and y. Now we are going to write if, put it inside a little bit, if x is greater than or equal to y, then test max is equal to x, else test max is equal to y. End if. So this is the code for the entire testing, and here I will write end if, because this if needs to be closed in programming. Always if there is an if statement, then it needs to be closed with an end if. So what does this do? The two values x and y, it will be testing. If x is greater than or equal to y, then the function will return the value x, otherwise it will return the value y. And then I'm going to write end function. Now I save it, close it, and here I will test the function. I will just increase the size of the, so that you can see it properly. Now I'll write the function is equal to test max, open close brackets. Now I'm going to send two values, 67 semicolon, I need to put semicolon, 90, close the brackets. Now two values are there, x is 67 and y is 90, and because 90 is greater than 67, it will return the value of y, which is 90. Same thing I'm going to test is equal to test max, and in bracket let us take 120 semicolon 23. So this time x is greater, so it will return the value x 120. So this way I can pass two values also as arguments. Now I can also, instead of giving x and y, I can also specify some cell addresses. So let us take here two cell addresses over here. Let's take, I'm having two numbers, say 34 and 78. I can also write the values as is equal to test max, and in bracket I can select this cell, semicolon, this cell number, and press enter. It will return back the greater number. So this is the way. Here see this address, like how we were writing someone, we were in some function we were specifying ranges. In the same way I can also specify either numbers or cell addresses in a function. So this is called as passing of arguments into a function. Now here we had created a lot many functions like the phone number function, the address function, and here we had created two functions to find out the max, test max, to find out two different. Here also test max we had done. This one was for finding out the double of a particular number. So like that we had created a lot of functions in as macros. Now we suppose I create one more function. Let us take a subtract function. So you know the max function, min function, these are all built-in functions which are there. Now suppose if I try to make a function here, sorry, tools, macro. Yeah, so these are the functions which we had written: the phone number function, the find number function, address function, double val, max test. So I make one more function over here. Let's take the subtract function. So in a blank place I will write function subtract two values. I'm passing two values, a and b. Now here I will write the function name subtract is equal to a minus b and end function. Okay, so what will this function do? It will subtract the value of a from the value of b. Now I save this, and here in a sheet number 2 I'm going to try it out. I'll say is equal to subtract, let's take 90 semicolon 9 or 10, something like that. It will give me the answer as 80. Now what happens, or else if I have two numbers over here, I say 24 and here I am having another value 67, and I'm using that same function is equal to subtract the first value semicolon the second value, press enter, it will give me minus 43. So this function is working fine. But you will realize that if I try to make a function like sum, it will automatically show me over here the function, because the sum function or the max function, these are all built-in functions which are already there in the calc spread. But if I try to write the same function whichever I have created the function, so equal to subtract, it is not showing me that function because it is not a built-in function. So if I want to create a macro, so although calc finds and calls the macro as a normal function, they do not really behave as built-in functions. So whatever macros I have created functions, they do not behave as built-in functions. For example, the macro does not appear in the function list. As I told you, the sum was available, the max was being shown, but our functions which we wrote is not available. It is possible to write functions that behave like add in by if you want to make a function which is like a regular function, like a built-in function, then you have to write it and add in with it, which makes it a built-in function. So this we are not going into detail. Only thing they are telling us that we can write add-ins with the help of which we can add our function also as a built-in function into the Excel calc sheet. So as I already explained, if you want to make your functions, the functions which you have written as built-in functions, then you need to write an add-ins with it, which we are not going to cover because it is not there in your syllabus. How to write add-ins is not there in your syllabus. So we will just understand that you can make your functions as built-in functions into calc. So the next part, that is accessing cells directly, it needs this particular portion is pretty complicated because you need a thorough understanding of the star basic language and the components called as this component get sheet function, and then the cell position row column function, etc., for understanding this particular option. So we are not actually going to use it because this is this needs a thorough understanding of the star basic language. It is just given to you as reference over here for your understanding that we can actually directly call certain using certain components and certain functions called as the get sheet function, etc., and the cell position functions of 0 1 yeah, that means in a cell position, that is your inner cell here, this is your 0 and this is the 0 0, this way 0 and this is 0, then here this will be the 0 and this is 0 1, then this will be 0 2, it's not 2 here, this is 1 and this is this. So here the positions are 0 1 2 like this, and this is 0 1 2 like this. It is, this is called as the cell positions in this particular language. So it is actually a bit complicated at your level to understand the cell positioning in the star basic language. So it is just actually picking up cells, the values in particular cells depending upon their cell position or the index position of that particular cell. So this is a bit complicated for you to understand, and it is basically for practical, so we are not going to do this particular function in detail. We go on to the next one, which is called as sorting. So you can sort the data automatically by creating macros over here. So you can sort data and you can write you can create, each time the macro runs, the data gets sorted. Such macros are used in for by writing codes. You can enter the coding, I mean to do the macro, that is sorting. So here we have got numbers 5 1 1 8 2, here 1 2 3 4 5, this is the sorting. So how does it become here? It gets sorted in the ascending and descending order according to your choice. So this is the next one, which is how to sort a particular columns in this. So here this is the entire, once we do it, you the macro gets recorded, and this is the entire macro for sorting out a particular column in open office. So the whole date, once you do the macro, the entire macro gets recorded in this way. So let us try that out. So here let us have some numbers in sheet number 3. So here let's take some numbers 8 5 1 7 and 3. Now I'm going to start recording the macro for sorting it. Macro, record macro. I select the thing, go to data, sort, and sort by column A in ascending order. Okay. So I click on OK. Now this gets sorted in ascending order, and I stop the macro. And here I will give a name to it. In the new one, I'm going to give a name to the macro. Let's take sort macro and save it. Now when I go here, tools, macro, and the macro organizer, you will see edit and see here the macro gets written. The sort macro which I wrote, subsort, it gets written over here in the star basic language. Basically this is what they are showing over here in this macro, how to sort the macro here. And so this is the same thing that gets converted into a macro here. Now if I want to run the same macro of sorting on another set of values over here, what I will do, I'll simply go to tools, macro, run the macro. Now I think my macro is in my macros. I had saved it under the standard one in the new module, and here we had done the macro called sort. Click on sort and run it, then it gets sorted in that order. So this way I can create a sorting macro in my calc sheet. So all the macros whichever I have created over here, I can run them. It is in my macros under the standard directory. There is a module called new in which I had written down so many different macros and functions, and I can run them whenever I want to. So we have written the address, the function, the calc macro, the color formatting macro. Then we have got the number 5 phone number macro, the sorting, the subtract, the text max where it checks two values, the double max, val double. So these were some of the functions and the macros that we learned in this session. So I hope you have understood this concept of how macros can be run and functions can be written so that we can make our work much more faster, and we can run the macros using the run option. So with this we come to the end of this particular session 4 of unit 2, that is the macro session, in which we have learned how to record macros, run macros, and how to write functions and how to send values and arguments into the function, and also how to run sort functions and how to write a macro for sorting of data. So this is what is covered in this unit called as creating of macros. Please practice the different types of macros, whichever different types of functions which we have learned in this session. You will be able to understand it much better by revising and going through the videos again and again. Thank you.